Hey there, welcome back, Marius here, and yes, just hear me out. There's 30 reasons at least I will explain objectively why the game is bad, and it doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Enjoy hell out of it. This is a Harry Potter's game. If you want to experience Hogwarts, this is it. Alright? I played it through as well, and honestly, it was a roller coaster. So let's get right to the point. I need also to mention a few other things. Meanwhile, in the background, there is a game absolutely at the lowest settings. Otherwise, it's impossible for me to record. Everything just crashes. The game runs okay, and I played it through on ultra settings. We'll get into that details. So that's one thing I need to mention. Second thing, as I already told, you can experience the game, you can have enjoy. No one, and especially not me, I'm not trying to take it away, but I will objectively look at the game, and basically whenever I mention those all 30 points, I can reference the game or any other title that does it better. So the things that are missing here, this is basically what I'm talking about. What gaming industry has evolved, and this is one huge step back. So without any further delay, there is also a timestamps for every of those 30 points, and they're mentioned in the description if you want to read them through. So there will be some points which I can show you right in a game, but other of them, well, you have to take my word for it, because it's basically the experience I lived through the game. So now the points one by one, and they are in kind of from the biggest issues to the smallest at the end. There are just probably my lack of lore or something like that. But well, let's start. First point is main story is very gated progression. And it's not something new in the gaming industry, but basically all the story that goes through, you are gated literally to your inventory, to the spells, to the accessible areas, well, all the locked doors. Every single thing is so gated that is impossible to comprehend the problem. At this one point is not the big. All the games has kind of, the story is being told, but together, first 5 points literally is basically what is suffocating this game. So I'm moving forward. I will try to be fast, otherwise this video again will be super long. So second point is keeping the first point in our head. The whole game is a tutorial, right? So this is where this problem starts to reveal. The game slowly introduces mechanics. All games does that, but usually there's basically starting area where you have main spells. Not everyone you have access to something, not everything, and then basically is the whole rest of the game. Here is literally everything scattered from start to end. Last spells, I'm talking about the unforgivable and all that. You have 2 missions before the last mission, and it's not like, what I'm trying to explain is usually at the start you give a bunch of things, and then the rest of the game, at least in real open world games, then you can travel and approach whatever you want. Here is everything is gated, and it's basically from start to end. It's linear as hell. How linear? Well, together all that already mentioned, there is timed side quests that I can show you. That I have the game running in the background. I could have 100% challenges, everything explored, but I am stuck with 3 quests missing. And how they are missed, you can read an article. I just checked the internet before, I guess, the game was fully released. Someone says no, it's not gated. All the side quests appear afterwards. Not entirely true, because the game will progress the same progress as I mentioned in the previous 2 points through the seasons, and there are some quests, if you rush too fast forward, which you want to do because everything is gated. You can't have your broom, you can't have lockpicking skill, I don't know, not even mentioning the names, you can. And if you progress too fast and skip some of the side quests, they are not afterwards available. So I have everything else done, but there is no more side quests for me. It's yeah, I'm just zooming, there's nothing. I browsed through, I went through, it's nope, I don't have them because I was rushing too fast main story. So these quests, well, they're gone. And they are literally, as you can see, 99% overall process, 97 here, 3 quests, and done. I'm done. You realize this only when the game ends, which was the point where I was like, oh no, I'm gonna make a video what is wrong with this game. And this is one of the points. First, going together, still, all 4 points together, all that in mind, everything is so tunnel, the whole playthrough, with everything I just already mentioned to you. When you go through the map, it's accessible, like kind of accessible. You can go walk by feet and everything, but if you keep in mind that nothing progresses before you start your continue your main story, then meanwhile you should not continue your main story quest, because side quests must be finished first, otherwise they will be gone. And then what was the previous point? That yeah, timed quests. Sorry, the timed side quests, and then it's just basically at the end, not the end. The whole thing, the whole game is only one way how to play it through. You can't rush. You go side quest by side quest, then one story quest, then side quest by side quest, then one story. It's literally, and if you ever think of doing it other way, you're doomed. And by the way, if you're thinking, that doesn't sound bad, you can access the world right away. You can't open the doors, you can't fly around because it's unlockable by the story. If you rush, like me, you miss those 3 quests. You can't access other mini puzzles and collect things that are there, but you are unable to get them without going properly one by one. It's basically it's kind of gives you a choice, but actually takes it away, which leads to the point number 5. Nothing, well, not nothing, well, at least as far as I can tell, it's not retroactive, the gameplay itself. Basically, it means you cannot go and engage with, let's say, Merlin Trials before the game introduces you to Merlin Trials and collect few of them, and then afterwards, when the game basically progresses, that's like, you found already 3. Or it's also with the what's give me a second, astronomy tables. You can find them, they are there, you see it's interactable object, but if you haven't found this one side quest, and trust me, this is the point where gaming industry already agreed, tunnel games are not that great without any given choices and such. Retroactive things are God blessed in gaming industry. While we are at it, let me move forward, otherwise there's more points too. Did I mention that house choice is pointless? You know, the house that you belong to, the lore? Yeah, for the lore, and as again, if you are a Harry Potter fan, nothing gonna stop you, you will enjoy hell out of the game. But from gaming perspective, where gaming industry has evolved, this is a huge step back, because the choices, the house let me show you what is my house. Sorry, I don't, no, wrong. Where is my, not going to show you, not going to spoil you anything. Am I too dumb or what? Can't find my, Ravenclaw. Ravenclaw is one. There is one quest, someone already angrily typing, there's one quest where you start at one point, then by every house there's different progression, but you end at this is the one story quest, which is kind of put in there so you can't make this point. I'm still making this point because nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I don't say it should be, but then I don't know, those choices are. If you think like this is already I lost you at the why this game is so bad, let me move forward. Well, let's scale it up. None of the choices matter. Whenever you engage in a game, you will, in all the dialogues, you will be presented like basically one is like kind of good guy and another one is like you're a mean guy. Just I don't know, picking and just swearing, not swearing, but you know, basically a dickhead and a good guy. Not only that, there are some story quests where you have to choose side with one or another. None of that in the grand scale in the storyline matters. At the end, at absolute end, they're basically like, okay, you want a good ending or bad ending? And even then, whatever you choose, they're like, little to no consequences, and the rest of the story goes exactly the same. Which is sorry, but also gaming moved forward and realized if you want to tell a singular tonal directed one thing, just one thing in one order, one items, one exactly one by one, that's when you write a book or film record a movie, because that's where you have literally nothing in your power to change or thing. Yeah, I can dress like an absolute fabulous guy. That's the only thing I literally can change. The rest of that is set in stone. And gaming is kind of the one of the entertainment areas where you as a player can make choices, can approach differently, can sometimes even quests can be resolved in different manners and different tactics and such things. Here's like, nah, I have a story to tell exactly how I want, and player, you can kind of hold on to your keyboard. This is the main feeling of the game at the end when you realize all that. But let me quickly fast forward then other points. Just the minor things, but still in gaming this is unforgivable. Merlin Trials, the only ones I hate so much, because I have finished the challenge. It's collected, I think it's also under here. Yeah, complete Merlin Trials. I have all of them. You know how much I have left? Actually, I think I can show you, which is at one point good. Merlin Trials, you see, I have 60 out of 95. So there is more than you actually need to fulfill the challenge. But oh boy, you cannot skip. Whenever you finish, there's like a little movie that is repeating. There's nothing different from one another. You can't even skip it. And that is for other things as well. That's why I mentioned and others. Like there are little cutscenes which when you repeat 60 times, you cannot even after 5, after 10, like I get it. I get the concept. Let me play the game. Nope. They're forcing you. It's like, sorry, but it's, and sometimes some story progression movies, which if you fail, you die, you reload, you have to live through, and not all of them are skippable, like unskippable things like nana. That's another mark where how gaming is not good. Alohomora delay. So there's a lockpicking. I probably cannot show you that as well, because most of the lockpicks I have opened already. It's simple. You cast a spell, then there's two dials, you start rotating them, and whenever they're aligned to corresponding right area, basically it starts to think. And if you, whenever this little mini game is brought up, if you start checking the dial, like basically one full circle, and you should be already at the point, you realize that there is a huge area. You basically can skip around already half of that whole full circle, where this little indicator is non-reactive. Basically, only after a one full round, when you start another round, you're like, oh, here it was the point. And then you ask, it begs the question like, I just passed you this in the first circle. those who have played game know what I'm talking about. Why didn't you show it first? Which basically is, as I say, like literally what is written here, delay working. It's basically when this mini game is brought up, you have to click back and forth, wait a moment when it's, I don't know, switches on, and then starts going. Otherwise, you are doomed to have all the time, 2 times. There are 2 those circles to go around, which is like, I don't know how to describe this, if not frustrating or bad game mechanics. I don't know why they did that. Then of course I will mention this little tiny thing that is, because behind me you can see there's only 4 items here can be put in spellbook, because on the controllers, because it's a pure 101 copied from consoles, game made for consoles. They have 4 buttons. Oh, you have on keyboard a lot of keyboards? Well, unfortunately, I can give you 4. And the problem is, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of games that are on consoles and gaming, and fine. The first thing that comes in my mind is also Warner Brothers Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, one of my favorite games. Both of them are absolutely amazing, where PC gamers are treated as a PC gamers. Here, like, nah, I give you 4. Why it's a problem? You see that color? I give you the 3. You can open this in any moment of the game, you just can't access them. But yellow corresponds to whenever you have enemy with yellow shield, you have to cast yellow spell to dispel it. The same goes for purple, and the same for red, which means this is my primary attacking. You have to have 3 different color these spells, and then you see you have 3, and then basically the 4th you can repeat one of the colors or go with unforgivable or something. You see how many spells we have. And did I mention that some enemy types have different weaknesses? Some of them spiders need to be pushed down. Executioners have to be dispelled, Then frogs must be flipped, or which leads you to the point, like, okay, and you can see then there's a full line whenever you interact with your animals, then to maintain your and basically this is less usable, but you have to maintain your room of requirements. That's another full list. You can take it out and use it as a combat spells. Then you will be, every time you want to change something in your home, you will have to pull it out because of those 4 spell limitations. And this actually, as you can see, already changed it, introducing more combat spells, but it was, I believe, because currently I hadn't repaired. So hidden repair and what was this? Sorry, I'm bad with remembering Lumos. And here, the pool. The pool is actually very, 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 very often used. You need to pull the levers and everything, but pool is not that great in a combat. In combat, I usually go with this. This is basically my setup. So even you have 4 times you can select these different bars, only 4 spells is still not enough. You see how much I'm left out? It's unbelievable how bad it is for whenever you have a keyboard, a lot of keyboard keys, and you are not allowed to use them because, well, we just cheaply ported it on PC, so screw you, PC gamer. Console, still, we are on console things. When you buy things and actually sell things, you have to press and hold items. Did I mention that one of your money incomes are whenever you sell your inventory, whenever you gather too much spare things, you sell them. There is a limit at the start. You start only with 20 slots, so you will be repeat this selling over and over, and you don't want to trash it out. And even trashing, you see, you have to hold. Press and hold literally is, again, console thing. It's not a big problem, but when you have to sell almost 40 items, and you literally press and hold. So much time wasted. Or sell all greens or sell all blues or whatever. None of that quality of life items, not here. And the same is for mounts. Mounts are just, I can show you this. Mounts is so bad. How bad, you ask? This bad. When you are outside, I think, yeah, we can mount here. I have to press tab for a while, then it brings up this screen, and then I press 3. I'm on the broom. Awesome. Quite. Did I mention what happens if you press tab too fast? Oh, I have thrown them out. If you have to always keep one of the items as in your how it's called, from this radial menu. You can deselect something. So whenever you are too fast clicking tab and not clicking 3, like waiting too long, you accidentally throw out one of your items. It's through the game I have thrown out just because it's, again, click and hold button to mount. The disaster, the delay, this so painful little experiences. Like, thank you guys, thank you for making this miserable as it could be. Okay. Another one more. Underwater. Did you know at this point in time in 2023, game industry realized, oh, did you know underwater there could be another items, enemies, interactions, different. A lot of games actually have even better underwater fights and breathing systems and everything. Here, like, sounds like a lot of work. They will be just throw them. You can swim. That's the best we can do. It's like, yeah. I don't know if someone wants to find a definition for lazy coding or lazy game making, then this would be the answer. Underwater, there's deep water. There's, yeah, you can swim in those vortexes, not vortexes, and then swim out with it. Literally, there's underwater. There's non-existent at this time of, yeah. All other games that have underwater probably like, did you see? They just skipped entirely underwater. Hilarious. All right, another quick small thing. Whenever you are hidden, absolutely amazing. You can engage enemies and basically like silent assassin, which is amazing. But if you catch the glitch where enemy caught, for example, approximately your attention and starts rotating, just basically glitches in an environment, which happens way more than you can think. Whenever enemy faces you, your invisibility is not working. You need to get behind, and you can imagine if they are rotating, you're screwed. You're literally screwed, and it happens so often. Those enemies start rotating, and you can't approach. You basically, it means, okay, now I have to come out from my absolutely amazing assassin's stealth mode and start fighting. Why? Because game broke. Just game is too bad. Then quickly but surely, there's another video of mine where I discuss it in detail, but there is a thing that's called graphics setting. Yeah, you see low, just so I can record the game. So ambient occlusion, there is one way how you can get it in game, by enabling and disabling ray tracing. So why 33 versus 55 plus 12? These are the stats I pulled out just before recording from Steam system requirements questionnaire. Basically, Steam holds the information about what gamers have in the world. So 33% of all gamers in the world, in the Steam statistics, have ray tracing capable graphics card. So 1/3 is actually capable to have ambient occlusion. 55% are for sure not having it because they don't have the game graphics card with RTX, so basically all the previous, which means yes, more than half. And what's 12? This is under others, which is the least. At one point the list is too long and they're like just others, so that's 12%, which most likely will be also in those 55, which ends up into, yes, 2/3 of all gamers in the world are literally, and you want ambient occlusion? Sorry, not sorry. No, you don't have it. And this is limitation. At one point, gaming should switch to better graphics and something. It's not when 2/3 of your users, your fans, are unable to see it, because there is no old style ambient occlusion. There's just ray tracing or no ambient occlusion, which makes game really bleak and basically shadows kind of non-existent. Anyways, did I mention there's non-trackable map, which is annoying as hell? Quickly explaining, there are things that you can track. You see those little markers? This small band camp was cleared. Amazing. You made it available so I can see. I don't need to go there. Why on earth these treasure vaults where are one box only? Why they are not being tracked? Why I am not allowed to be marked? These overload. Oh, you see, I see. Sorry, on this side. Let me move. 2 out of 2 boxes collected. Why can't you put a check mark on it? How hard was? Who was this lazy developer who decided, okay, bandit camps we check, others, nah, let's make them suffer. Let's make them guess. Was I here or was I not? Tick tock. Thank you for hating your users so much. Sorry. Hard is easy. I'm not bragging whatsoever. I'm not that good. I'm already old gamer. I'm a grandpa now. But I played the game on hard. I haven't made a single potion in my game, only for the quests. When quest required some invisibility I didn't have or something, I made them. For my own use, I haven't a single one of them, which means something. How hard the game can be if this old timer can play it through on hard. And also, let me just mention, playing on hard when you die, there is no penalty whatsoever, which again puts more emphasizes this is a story game, linear game, tunnel game, nothing. Just you died, okay, just try again until you finish that. There are some battles that are that were quite challenging. I was quite frustrated. Rest of that, absolutely, the whole potion making thing is absent, because the potions could give me shield, better spells, something, everything. None of that was even needed to finish it hard, which brings up the question that if I were using that, I would be sleeping in the combats. It was even the combats would be really boring. Then another point, just did I mention that I can and I have in my bag Gryphon? You see this Gryphon? It's in my bag because it's a magical bag, it's a magical game, right? Yeah. What if I told you the same magical bag? How I can get off it, right? By the way, if you're wondering if that's the biggest thing in my bag, nah. I think it's even, this is one is even bigger. In the same bag, when you start the game and you haven't finished Merlin's challenge, you can have, drumroll, 20 gloves, or 20 pants, or 20 hats, and not a single more. The same magical bag can hold this beast, and the Gryphon, and this broom, or mittens, only 20, not a single more. Why? Because we hate you so much that you actually frustrate for the half of the game, having so little inventory space, but keeping this thing in bag. Yeah, magic happens, right? I get it. All right. What else we have? Next point we have upgrading is pointless and late. Remember this story gated progression? You think it's he's just picking on game. No. When you play through the game, you can actually level up. For example, I have third level. I think most of them I have leveled up. The game actually introduces you with the upgrading concept. Like you cannot. That's the gating. It gives you at the point. I think I was already at least 2/3 in a game story, and I already was in so high levels with so high everything. I was like, why this upgrade even matters? I was already the game is so slowly introducing you to actually. I don't know if I can make the same point, but from the previous, you are introduced with talents. I was introduced. I rushed story, and they're like, okay, you get 1 talent point from level 5 every next level. And I look at the corner like, I'm level 15. For 10 levels, I could have talent points if the game was not the tutorial stretched across the whole game. Just give me now. Give me. When I reach level 5, every single other game gives you like, okay, you have talent points now. From now on, you can use them. The game introduced it so late, and the same is for potions, the same is for upgrades, the same is for these, how it's called, features, but yeah, these the blue markers significantly increase damage with all. It's so late in the game. It's absolutely pointless. Someone who made this progression, everything, absolutely have no idea how a game works and how it should be. At a point, hard is easy, right? Damn it. Dumb me. But again, I made a point where, yeah, the talent points introduced. I can rewrite it. Talents are to latte do. You see? Easy. Fixed. So that's the same point I just explained already to you. So next we have pointless. Potions are pointless. Come on. Did I mention it? Ah, yeah. I had actually a separate point. I again bashed everything together because I was worried I will miss something. But I mentioned already how potions. Yeah, I mentioned it right away with the hard is easy. Sorry, my bad. Pointless mounts. Did I? I just showed you also the mounts. You have broom the first, which is the fastest to get on, fastest to get off. Flies exactly the same speed, and later in the game, you are being introduced with Gryphon. Takes way harder to open, way harder to get off. Flies exactly the same speed. Normally in the game, you get more and more exciting and cool items. Here you get best item, the brew, and then Gryphon, which doesn't even make sense to use it. And then after even that, someone who decided this is a good idea, the order how to introduce them. Oh, here's ground mount. No space, but yeah, you already see how it even makes sense. It's another proof that someone who has no idea how gaming works decided, yeah, that's the order. Yeah, don't ask me. It's magical, right? Green beam. This is the last points are just my problems with the game. Well, all of them were mine, but well, now you will hear them. There will be enemies where in the fight you shoot your beam, enemy shoots the beam back, the boss shoots the beam back. Basically, you have this struggle. You need to smash a button. Super innovative. Where you win it. So far, so good. And obviously, I'm not obviously, but I am casting the red spell, this red beam, again just because I'm a good guy. In all other magical and every world, red kind of means bad guys. But okay, I have the red beam. Enemy shoots at me. Green beam which basically in Star Wars is quite opposite, because green is, you know, lightsabers called, okay, this is totally different world. So far so good. Red here is good. Green here is bad, because also the unforgivable spells are green, so it kind of makes sense. They are shooting with... all makes sense. What if I mention you quite early in the game can notice that the main enemy you are fighting against has this red glowing armor that is filled with magic and red eyes. So that's, at that point I'm like, okay, I probably missed something from the lore. You can write down what I'm missing from the lore, but if red is bad and he has red armor and red eyes, why didn't he shoot the red magic beam and I shoot the green? Which green? I'm kind of lost in this magic thing, but just from that non-lore deep player, I'm like, something's not right there. Something is not thought through again. But again, side quests are boring as hell. This is my point only, because you have the main story which leads to some things. The side quests which you have to do every single time that one of them appears. You arrive, boring as hell introduction, go fetch something, bring me back. Ta-da! Done. First 10 of them, fine. 20. When you... yeah, it's sorry. No. It's we are also... every single Assassin's Creed game received this bashing, like, those story quests are bad. I want every single article, every single news outlet, gaming outlet come back and say exactly the same about this game. Because if they are not doing that for these side quests and kind of empty open world, they are hypocrites, simple as that. If you bash that game, bash this one as well, because it's exactly the same thing happens here. Main story. Did I mention that? I'm not going to spoil, but main story is so much soap opera. And you know in which part the soap opera? Not where there's Ronaldo that suddenly loves Isabella, but where things are going kind of okay. You see where it might lead, the plot is going, and at the point plot is like someone does so extra stupidly, insanely out of the blue stupid thing, not even reasonable, which makes the twist, and then you're like, the hell, man. Okay? There are games where the story kind of has twists and turns. I'm like, oh damn, it's good. Here's like, the fuck just happened? Literally. If that stupid thing wouldn't happen, half of the story would fall apart. They had to do something absolutely stupid. And they're like, oh no, the consequences of my own action or stupid storytelling. Sorry, but yeah. Moving on. Just a question. So, Avada Kedavra, however you spell it correctly, is a bad, unforgivable spell, which you get 2 points before the last mission, but no one should cast the cursed spells and all that, right? Because it kills instantly. And the fact that whole game I'm going and burning alive animals, wolves, people, wizards, well, they are people too, burning them alive, smashing them to the ground, smashing them with rocks, with explosives. Nah, it's fine. Just play around, yeah, you know, you killed hundreds of enemies, but no, that one spell that kills people, like, and I have literally hundreds, if not thousands, corpses behind me, like, nah, that's fine. Sorry, but now I'm already, I'm attacking a little bit lore, because for those who are in Harry Potter, probably the lore and everything, they're like, no, you shouldn't cast, it's fine. But from gaming perspective, this is so falling apart. No. One of the things when I realized this video is going to happen, when the final battle ends and you have, basically they're saying, you can finish up the world and things, and like, okay. And I'm thinking, maybe actually I caught a bug, and I think we can quite easily test it. But what happened? Because even if it's a bug, this point still stands. I was like, I have 39 level. I have half of the level left. I'm like, okay, I'm jumping in the woods, killing few wolves, and getting my final achievements. I have all the talent points, 40 level, all good. I'm starting killing enemies. Experience is not given. I understand this was the last quest and things, but you know, why should you stop giving me experience? I still don't get it. I'm flying over these because they are frogs. Frogs are really hard to kill. I want some easier prey. Ooh, yes. Honestly, I don't know if that was the bug. Oh no! You see? Just killed 2 wolves. I don't have experience. So, yes, this still stands. I am unable to get my last few experience points because the game developers decided, hey, he finished the main story, and he's now back in the world and basically finalizing the game. Wouldn't it be stupid if we allow him to get, I don't know, 10 more wolves and get the final level and get achievement in Steam? No. Let's make him replay the game or load the game. Like, who does that? How much do you hate gamers to make a move like that? Like, no more experience for you. It doesn't even matter. There's no quest. No, I can't abuse anything. There's nothing to do in this world. It's basically literally the credits are rolling already. Why would you stop giving experience for killing enemies in the game? It's at this point I was like, how stupid this game is actually. Last few points. Frame drops. Now we are in the minor points. You see how many points I mentioned already, which are bad game design and bad gaming and everything, without mentioning, frame rate drops in cutscenes, where cutscenes could be pre-recorded and played as movies, where even if the game is unoptimized, but the movies could run smoothly, but they failed even at that. They're like, nah, we run cutscenes live, and then frame rate drops to 4 or 5 frame rate, and someone is telling you a story, like heartwarming story, and it's literally lagging as hell, and you're like all the time looking at the corner, what's wrong with that? Why I have 4 frame rates? What's going on? This game is so bad. Half of the story is just passing you by. Their decision, they want it. Lip sync. I didn't notice, but someone of you absolutely amazing viewers of mine mentioned it, like, and on PC, it's when you notice it, how spoken dialogue and afterwards lips moving are totally out of sync. Nothing you can do about it. I tried it. It's just like, nah, probably because of the bad port. Anyways, graphic looks busy. So here I am out in the world with the world graphics also. But this is true the same for, I don't know where to put. This is also true for whenever I have ultra graphics. So the thing is, this is console game. They have limitations. If there will be too much put on graphics, they will just burn up. And one of the things I will try to show you. When you look here, graphics is not bad. There are a lot of items you can see which give you the feeling it is busy. But when you look closely, or not closely, or if you have seen a game with good graphics, hard will be to show, but basically the ground is one flat surface. Once you notice that every wall, some of the walls are actually with tessellation and they have the relief and everything, but most of the items, the surfaces are flat as hell, and this floor is only painted. Like, this is the cheap graphics solution where your graphics card can't deal with, rugged surfaces. So it's flat, and we draw the lines so it looks like, and there's a lot of these items, the same walls, and once you notice how everything is flat and basically bare bones and bleak, just items stacked so it looks cluttered, it looks like there's a lot of things, but all of those things are so explain. It's hard to explain. If you haven't seen ultra graphics and good game, it's probably see this wall. It's not with relief. It's painted. It's one flat wall. Ceilings. Yes, there are beams, but the main ceiling is just one flat surface. Anyways, it's one of the last before points. Yeah, one before the last. So it's yeah, these are the minimum. These are the least of my problems. The DLSS is not working, and optimization for PC is non-existent. My other video, I fully explore how selecting DLSS, which usually boosts the frame rates, does absolutely nothing. No frame rate boost whatsoever, which was weird. They kind of implemented it, but it doesn't work. Or there's another way. The game is so unoptimized that the DLS couldn't. It's working, but it doesn't give any output, which is, I don't know which is worse. But anyways, now the bonus points for those who can handle my rumbling 35 minutes, I will quickly give you 5 things which could this game pick to the another level. And they are not that hard, and I will just run through them and then we are done with the video. First thing, the game was started on Unreal Engine 4, and if they patch, which basically moving from one engine to another, the next iteration requires extra work, but in Unreal Engine 5 they introduced nanites and luminous, or one of the so cool features that this game performance and everything could be like out of the roof and even made even look better. Because Unreal Engine 4 was great at that time when they started making this game, but now upgrading it to 5.1 would be absolutely amazing. No performance issues, just taken away like that. That would be one thing which already drastically improves the game. Second one, don't just copy paste from consoles. For example, the same graphics. My other video also explores how even the ray tracing implemented, the same ambient occlusion is implemented with 0.35 efficiency, which you can manually change. All my video explains that, can change to 1 and have actual dark shadows, where basically ambient occlusion is fully on. It's not even, you can do that through the settings. So it's not even thought about PC gamers. It's just consoles have them, copy paste. Yeah, you have it as well, exactly the same, which is insane. Make DLSS work? No, probably the same. The first point also, the Unreal Engine upgrade could fix it if the problem is the game is so unoptimized that DLSS is just like, the pixels are not the problem, master. But anyways, DLSS is already for quite a while savior for the bad gaming and bad optimization, everything. In this game, it's either not working or it's that bad. But making this work could help a lot of gamers and a lot of performance issues, and they could experience the story, the environment way better. What else? Scalable enemies. The same moment when I was introduced with talent points when I was level 15, which talent points start at 5, I'm like, why there's such a huge gap? And when I start doing the side quests, you have quite a lot of experience and everything. You are kind of boosted with your level. And you, at one point, you have so huge gap. That's why the game is also probably was easy. You are you're in low level map, fighting low level enemies that drop so low level items that is so pointless. If you ask, yes, gaming has realized it, where you in settings you can enable that enemies are scaled up, which means whatever level you are, if the enemy was lower level, it's scaled up, so the combat is more engaging. It's not just one button smash. The enemies, if they drop your level items, is another boost, basically boost over the boost over the boost. So gaming already realized that scalable enemies are the thing that makes, basically, even though the other play styles, and align them. And again, you can disable it and run low-level enemies and everything. So that's another thing how the game can actually be improved. And one last thing, Game Plus. There is no whatsoever reason. One reason for me to play once again is because it screwed up this my full competition, this one challenge, this one final, and this is the only reason why I would play through. Will I? Absolutely not. There is no other choices I can make that will make the game different. Nothing. The story is one linear. I went it through. There's no reason to replay. Game Plus, if those who don't know, probably Harry Potter fans who this is the only game they play because they love Harry Potter, which is a reasonable thing. Game Plus is when you have now finished the game. Now this character with all the talent points with the same level I have right now, you can start over the game from scratch, but already with all the knowledge and everything, which makes all this slow start way faster. I can unlock already at the beginning of the game all the doors, and it's different experience. But for that you need scalable enemies. Otherwise, yeah, it's a little bit too boring. So these 5 things, if you implement in this game, you can prolong its lifetime, because currently the player base is already dropping. Why? Because whenever you finish it, you're done. You never ever want to pick it again. There's no reason to do it. So yeah, this is my input. I'm sorry for 51 minutes, but I had to put it out. Especially this issue with side quests, that only at the end of the game I'm like, oh wait, what? Wait, what? Just because I wanted Alohomora, I pushed a little bit main quest. You vanished or basically removed one of my side quests, which are now I can't get access to them. I missed them, and I know it only now. Oh, thank you, game. Thank you for hating me for playing you. Alright, this is it, guys. I will switch back probably better settings, because otherwise this game is so ugly. And yeah, 55% of you don't have so high graphics card that is capable of ray tracing, so most of the gamers are playing in these awful graphics that they made so awful, because all of the reasons I already mentioned. That's it from my side. If I missed some of the points, I think I shouldn't, because I try to include everything. And please let me know what you think. Isn't it the absolutely best hat? This hat is so hilarious. I can't. And the Googles, whenever there's a story mission that's like heartbreaking, someone dies or something, and my character shows up like, hey, what's up? And looks like this lunatic. I'm like, this is hilarious. This is a comedy next level. Let me know what you think. Let me know what bad points I missed in the game. And we'll be back with other videos. Cheers.